Hey, school counselors and educators. I'm Ashley Osinski. Welcome to my YouTube channel, where I am on a mission to support school counselors and educators, providing them tools for building relationships, navigating behavior, and supporting your own and your students' well-being. And I'm going to try to do a nice balance of some fun, lighthearted topics, which I'll get into next week. But for this week, we're just going to jump right into an article that my husband sent to me last week that really gave me a visceral reaction. And I want to get into what this article was, the problems with this article, and some possible solutions for moving forward. So last week, my husband sent me an article from the Wall Street Journal, and it was titled, "When There's No School Counselor, There's a Bot. Is AI the Future of Student Mental Health Support?" And I had a visceral reaction to this article. Since this channel is dedicated to supporting school counselors, I want to take a moment to break it down, explain why I believe this approach is dangerous, and share alternative solutions. So this article highlights a significant issue that I think all of us school counselors know, which is that many schools are unable to meet the recommended 250 to 1 student to counselor ratio set by the American School Counselor Association, ASCA. In reality, many schools have ratios that are closer to 376 students to 1 counselor, and there are 17% of high schools that do not have a school counselor at all. And in this article, the proposed solution is an AI chatbot. So to fill the gap, some schools are implementing an AI-powered well-being companion, a chatbot that students can text for support. However, this service is only available during school hours from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. so that the chatbot staff can monitor these chats. One of the selling points in this article is that the bot is designed to, quote, meet teens where they are on their phones and to communicate to them like a cool older sibling. You know, apparently they even took some time to research which emojis resonate best with teens. Ugh. So now that I've summarized the article, which I'll link below, here are 7 reasons why this approach is problematic, along with some real solutions. So why is this dangerous? Number 1, more technology does not equal more connection. We are living in a time of unprecedented access to technology, social media, FaceTime, texting, yet people, especially kids and teens, are reporting feeling more isolated and disconnected than ever. The solution to loneliness isn't adding more technology. It's fostering real in-person connections, both with peers and with trusted adults. Number 2, it hinders emotional and social development. Many students already struggle with emotional expression, nonverbal communication, and navigating relationships. Encouraging these digital interactions over face-to-face conversations, it only reinforces avoidance behaviors rather than helping kids develop these critical life skills. So instead of encouraging students to open up to a real person, this tool suggests that a faceless AI is the best option. Number 3, it creates more distrust between students, staff, and parents. For schools to thrive, students, staff, and parents, they need to work together. However, there's already a growing lack of trust, with students feeling unheard, parents feeling uninformed, and school staff feeling stretched thin and not sure how to navigate all of the mental health concerns and behavior concerns that we're currently seeing in the school setting. And if students don't feel comfortable seeking help from a trusted adult, that's a systemic issue that we need to address. It's not a reason to replace human relationships with an AI chatbot. Number 4, the funding could be used for actual support. This company has raised over $2 million and charges schools $20,000 to $30,000 per district. I know that's not a ton of money, $20,000, $30,000 per district, but imagine what that money could do if instead of funding a chatbot, it went toward hiring part-time or full-time licensed school counselors, providing professional development for teachers that is actually meeting the current needs, expanding mental health services within schools with actual people and supports. If we're truly invested in supporting kids, we should be investing in people, not bots. Number 5, the emergency response system raises serious concerns. If a student discloses self-harm or suicidal thoughts, the system alerts administration, parents, and possibly law enforcement, but not the school counselor. This raises so many questions. So how exactly will parents be notified? Can you imagine as a parent getting a call from this random chatbot system that your child just disclosed this information? So how is that being notified? Are there any follow-ups with the kid to see what's going on? Why aren't school counselors involved when they are the ones trained to handle these situations? Will administrators treat this as a disciplinary issue rather than a mental health concern? I know for many administrators, while they are great at their job, they are not aware of how to handle these situations in a great way. And kids a lot of times don't want to talk to administrators about issues like this. How and when will police be involved? And will this be done with care? Are these school resource officers who maybe have more relationship and connection with students? There's just so many questions. This entire process is unclear and could lead to harmful consequences for students who are really struggling. Number 6, counselors are already overloaded with non-counseling duties. Many school counselors have this lovely tag on our contracts of other duties as assigned that teachers don't have, because teachers have a more scheduled, bell scheduled day that's tied to specific classes. Whereas counselors, for many of us, our day is a lot more fluid because we're navigating students, staff, and families. And so often this other duties as assigned can quickly get filled up with things like managing state testing, acting as 504 case managers, handling attendance, subbing for teachers, creating the building schedule. And all of this takes time away from the actual counseling work that students need. So instead of investing in AI, districts should focus on restructuring counselor workloads so they can actually do their jobs. Maybe you use AI to help you with 504s or, helping with a school schedule instead of the one-on-one connection with students and their mental health support. Number 7, mental health support should be a shared responsibility. Counselors should not be the only adults supporting students' well-being. Teachers are on the front lines every day and have the potential to build strong relationships with students. I'm going to get way more into this into some further episodes, because I do think that in this culture right now where we're talking about SEL and DEI, teachers are really nervous to have any type of conversation with kids that isn't just curriculum. And so we need to fix that, right? Because teachers have to have relationships with students. So instead of a chatbot, we could use that money to provide professional development for teachers on mental health awareness, train staff on early intervention strategies, foster a school-wide culture of mental health awareness and support. I think there's so much of, I talk a lot about regulation and behavior support. If we could provide teachers with training on that to notice the early warning signs of when a student is starting to get dysregulated or when they're having a hard time, that would remedy so many of our issues and you wouldn't need a chatbot, right? So the bigger picture is that it feels like we're moving further away from a collaborative approach between students, staff, and families. AI in schools won't build trust and it won't strengthen relationships. And it also won't provide the real support that students need. When we look at resilience and we look at things that buffer against mental health concerns, such as protective factors and positive childhood experiences, there are so many that are tied directly to school, such as a sense of belonging, a connection with adults outside of the home, having positive peer relationships. And so we need to be really investing in these face-to-face connections that are going to actually buffer against mental health concerns instead of replacing it with this quick fix of an AI. And our kids, they don't need a cool older sibling chatbot that knows the right emojis. They need real caring adults who can pick up on nonverbal communication, who are aware of the social dynamics that are going on, who are willing to have the hard conversations. push them toward resilience, and provide kids with the tools they need to thrive. So clearly, I'm passionate about this because I just read that and I thought, what is happening? I am a parent of 3 kids, and I do not want any of my children using an AI chatbot to express how they feel when they have a teacher or a counselor who's right there and trained to support them. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about AI being used for student mental health support? Do you agree or disagree with my take? And what solutions do you think would be more effective? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's keep this conversation going. And I will see you next week when we're going to go a lot more lighthearted and talk about what are some of my favorite counseling items. See you soon.